Hello and welcome back to another episode of the channel by me, the Wise James. Just getting into this YouTube by this political commentator. I can't pronounce his name, although it's on the screen. And it's about James O'Brien from LBC asking why people aren't angry with Farage over immigration. I am. I don't know why everyone else isn't.
Hi guys, when the UK left the European Union, one of the sectors of the economy hardest hit was of course agriculture. Farmers were unable to access many of the workers that they needed before, the cost of importing goods was more expensive, and many of the subsidies they received from the European Union dried up. Now, you would have imagined that they would be angry with Nigel Farage, but unfortunately recently he was welcomed like a conquering hero at one of their protests, which doesn't make any sense. Now, another issue, of course, is immigration, as James O'Brien raises here, which of course doesn't make any sense either.
The people who are angriest about the so-called small boats caused it. It is their fault. It is on them. The people who sold it to them, the numbers are frankly extraordinary. Remember, we formally left the EU. That's the point at which this is measured from. 1,843 people making that journey in 2019. So far, well, and then if you go to the last measurable full year, or you choose 2022, 45,774. How can people who voted to reduce immigration in the Brexit referendum look at these numbers, not just the big numbers, but the small boat numbers, and think, I know who I'm going to vote for. I'm going to vote for the people who sold it to me.
See? Thank fuck for this. I'm not the only one who's saying this, right? Literally, the people who've caused this mass migration problem is Farage and all the people who are backing him. Like, they have caused this problem.
Yes, I don't understand this. Nigel Farage and Reform UK are leading in the polls. And they're leading with people, primarily, who voted for Brexit. And why did they vote for Brexit? Because they wanted to bring down immigration.
And yet immigration has gone up, not down, and it was caused by Farage, and they think he's going to solve it. I'm bewildered. It baffles me. I sit here every day scratching my head at how the fuck so many people in my country are so easily fooled, so easily mugged off, essentially scammed, to allow someone else to take power. Either... No, it's not. It simply boils down to people are don't ask enough questions. I think people do not ask enough questions. I think that's all it is.
And if you ask people who are so-called concerned about immigration, which party are they going to vote for? Reform UK. Like, I don't understand this. Really, I don't understand how people who voted to leave the European Union in order to bring down immigration would vote for Reform UK now. You were lied to. You were told, if we leave, it will bring down numbers.
You were also told that we would have more money and we'd have more sovereignty. And, well, we'd be more restricted and had less money.
The numbers went up. We know the reason why the numbers went up. But the focus here is on Nigel Farage and reform. They lied to people in 2019. They lied to people in 2016. They lied to people in 2024. And, of course, Nigel Farage is not going to have some sort of epiphany and stop lying in 2028 or 2029, whenever the next general election.
Nigel Farage has been lying his entire life. Why the fuck would he stop now?
Is. And it will work. I honestly don't understand what people see in this guy. Boris Johnson, in 2019, people voted for him to shake up the system, to be a bit like Donald Trump. That worked out really well, didn't it? But Nigel Farage, who has a long track record of lying to people, being a charlatan, a proven one, people will come back and vote for him again. What is it about this guy? I understand.
People are desperate. That's literally all it is. People are so desperate that they're turning to the devil they don't know instead of the devils they do know. It's as simple as that, I'm afraid. It is as simple as that. There's so many people in the UK who are so sick of the Tories and so sick of Labour, they don't see any other option. So they're going to vote for him even though they know he's a lying prick. They're still going to vote for him.
And when it comes to the election, many people
One word. Desperation.
will be angry with the incumbent. People will be angry with the Labour government. They would have voted for them hoping that there will be change, that things will get better, and it depends on Labour if they improve the situation. But there's a whole cohort, maybe 20% of the voting population, who will vote for Nigel Farage even though he lies to them.
Yeah.
Is it they believe that he's not lying to them, but he's lying to everyone else?
I think they just don't care. They don't care, and they believe he's going to resolve the problems. That's what it is. They don't care that he's lied about everything else. They believe what he says now. Do you know what I mean? Like, they have no faith in anyone else in this country to try and help change things. So they're putting their faith in this one man who seems to be their only option because they think that is their only option. And he's telling them he's their only option. And loads of their friends and their friends' friends tell them he's their only option. People are like sheep. Honestly, like sheep.
Is it they believe that, yes, he lies in order to get into power, but then he'll improve things? Has Nigel Farage apologized?
He didn't improve things when he got into power in the EU for the UK, did he? He hasn't improved Clacton since he's become an MP for Clacton, has he? So how is he going to improve the UK if he became Prime Minister? He won't. He won't.
Apologized for Brexit? Has he apologized for the rising numbers? No, of course he hasn't. He will never apologize, but he'll also blame other people. Brexit was a success, but it didn't succeed because of the Tories.
Yeah.
It's not Brexit's fault that the numbers went up. It's the Tories' fault.
I mean, I can kind of agree with Nigel Farage on that point, if I'm honest. Brexit could have been a very brilliant thing, right? Brexit could have been this amazing thing where we did get control of our borders back, we did have more money, and we did have more freedom and sovereignty to do what the fuck we want. That was possible, but you all handed the keys to the country to the Tories and then Labour instead of a normal British person like me. So you're all mugs, to be honest. I know you all think, well, I don't know who he is. Why would I vote for him? Well, you never know who the Prime Minister, the candidate for Prime Minister is. Like, 5 years ago, you'd never heard of Richie Sunak or Liz Truss, but they'd be leaders. 10 years ago, you'd never heard of Boris Johnson or Keir Starmer. Yet here we are. Things change very quickly. The only reason you haven't heard my name, and my name isn't on that ballot paper, is because, personally speaking, I think the government don't want me anywhere near, public opinion. They really don't. Do you think the government would want me, a man who's not afraid to tell people the truth, telling people the truth? No. They would rather lock me up in a psych ward than people find out the truth. They'd much rather that.
But people will believe that. People will say, yes, it's not really Nigel Farage's fault, it's not really Brexit's fault, it's the fault of the Conservative Party. They didn't implement it right.
Well, that is true, though. Those people are not wrong. The Tories did implement it wrong. They were so desperate because, in the famous words of the Tories, a bad deal was better than no deal. Or what was it? A no deal is better than a bad deal. I can't remember which one it was. But they were so desperate for this bad deal, and Boris Johnson just forced it through. And Nigel Farage helped him. So, the Tories did implement it wrong. That is true. I don't like disagreeing with people who are on the same side as me, but, well, without the Tories, Nigel couldn't have done it alone. And without Nigel, the Tories couldn't have done it. They're both integral to this fuck-up.
If somebody can continually lie to you and you will vote for them, what does that say about you? One thing is to be conned, but to be constantly conned and still believe that this person is on your side, I don't know, it beggars belief. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think about all of this, and I'll see you in the next video.
Yeah, I mean, I don't always watch this guy because politics gets me very angry, gets me very frustrated. But he does do some very interesting videos. I think we differ on some points, but on most points we kind of agree. So if you do want to watch his channel, go to YouTube and search for this name. I can't even pronounce it. Maximilian Robespierre or Spiri. You know, one of the two. That's his name. I'm sorry, dude. So anyway, thanks very much for watching. Have a good one. Bye-bye. Crazy ass bitch.